Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of Let's Talk Marketing. This morning, Beck's feeling a bit unwell, so I thought I'll jump on. This is a pre-recorded session because I'm going to walk you through on how to set up a Facebook ads campaign for your studio to start driving new leads. Right. So the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about all aspects of the customer journey and how important that is. So it is important. That's what we need to focus on as businesses. It's not just focusing on Facebook ads. It's not just focusing on email marketing. It's looking at the customer journey as a whole and how do we talk to our customers at each point of that journey to get the sale. Okay. And it's important, we have to create an emotional connection with our customers. And we also need to make sure we understand what their pain points are and how can we solve their problems. In this instance for studios, it's all about their children. Okay. All like for me, I'm a dad myself. I've got a little girl, she's 2, and it's all about confidence, right? I want her to have confidence. So I'm going to get her to do activities that are going to help grow her confidence, build her motor skills, do all these amazing things as she starts to grow into, a teenager and a woman. I want her to grow up with confidence. But we're going to start at the first part of the customer journey, right? So we need to get attention. We need to attract these ideal customers for our studios. And how do we do that? Well, the fastest way to do that is actually through Facebook advertising and pay for this ad space across Facebook and Instagram and all these placements. So today, that's what I'm going to take you through, right? So the first step is this is what an ads manager account looks like. Nothing has been set up yet. There's no campaigns, but we do have ad sets and ads, right? So there's 3 parts to setting up a Facebook ads campaign. You may already have done this before. You may have already gone through this process. You might even be sitting there going, looking, watching this and going, well, Facebook ads doesn't work for me, right? And I've spoken to a lot of dance studio owners, a lot of different businesses that do say that Facebook ads doesn't work, and just little things that they need to fix in order to get it working. But Facebook ads is a game of consistency, persistence, right? It's always work. It does work, but you just got to find the right formula, the right ads, the right message. And once that all clicks, then you'll see these ads actually perform, right? So first step is simple, is we want to create a campaign. Okay. So you've got all these different options: awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotion, sales. What we want to focus on is leads. Okay, so what we're doing is we're telling Facebook or Meta that we want leads. Okay, so what they're going to do is once we put in all our audiences and our target market, then they're going to try and find those people that are most likely going to either fill out a form on your website, fill out a Facebook lead form, but the ones that are actually going to convert. All right, so that's what we want to tell Meta. Then you've got 2 options here. So you can do recommended settings or manual lead settings. I always choose manual lead campaign. I don't rely on Facebook to set it up for me, where you got like Advantage Plus and stuff. I like full control because especially when you're starting out, if it's a new ad account, this is good if you've got a lot of data and you've been running ads for quite a long time, and you can let Facebook utilize that data and leverage that data to find your ideal customers. But generally, when you're starting out or you haven't got much data, it's always good to actually have that control yourself so you can feed the pixel the right data. So now what we're going to do is we're going to have our campaign name. So here I usually focus on, so I understand myself, is TOF, which is top of funnel, right? And then I say it's a conversion campaign. And what are we optimizing for? So I put a little O and I write optimize for leads. Okay, so I know this is a top of funnel, which means we're targeting new audiences. Okay, so we're not going after people that have engaged with us. We're not going after people that have visit the website. We're excluding everyone that's fill out a lead form. We do not want to target these people again. Okay, that's for a different campaign with a different message, different purpose, right? What we want to do is we want attention. We want to get new people. We want to get these new people, their eyes on our brand, seeing our content, getting engaged with it, clicking on it, filling out the form. Okay. So next step is you've got Advantage campaign budget, right? So this means is you can set the budget at the campaign level, right? You can do $20 a day, $30 a day, whatever you feel comfortable with. I don't recommend doing anything less than 20 personally, but it's up to you. Whatever you're comfortable with doing, start with that as well. So we set the budget here. So what we're doing here is saying, Facebook, this is the budget for this entire campaign. In the ad sets, this is where we set up our audiences. we could have all these different audiences, right? And then Facebook's going to shift the budget depending on which audience they is going to perform the best, right? At this moment, I'll turn this off only because I'm taking this as this is a whole new ad account, new ad strategy that you're setting up for the first time. So we don't want Facebook to make that decision yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the budget at the ad set level. Now we've got our audiences. So I'm here in Penrith, right? So I'm going to write Penrith as the area and interest, right? So we want to target parents, okay? So we want to look at targeting parents with kids, right? And then you should have your pixel and that set up. If not, that's fine. Let me know. I can definitely help you out with that, right? But now what we're going to do is we're going to click the event that we want to optimize for is leads. Okay, so maximize number of conversions. You've got number of landing page views, unique reach, impressions. Don't worry about that stuff. Want to focus on conversions, right? And this is where we set up. Click website, but you do have an option for instant form. So this is where they can actually fill out a form on Instagram as well, right? Instagram, Facebook, and stuff like that. Okay, but for this purpose, we're going to send them to a website. So I'm assuming you got this landing page built out. It's amazing. It's got videos, it's got information. People can fill out a form, right? We want to send them there. Okay. So now we're going into, don't worry about dynamic creative. Don't worry about cost per result yet. You know, just keep it simple. Budget. This is where we're going to set the budget at the ad set level. Okay. And we're looking here. Don't worry about budget scheduling. Now we want to look at audience controls. Okay. So here at the moment, it's set up Australia, but we don't want to target Australia. We're a dance studio. We want to target our local market. Okay, so I'm here in Penrith. What I like to do is, so you can put Penrith and sometimes it will drop a pin, but I tend to like to put a radius. You know, that's quite big. 10 miles is quite a lot. Let's drop that down to 4. Okay, and that gets a good radius for me. So it still hits Glenmore Park, Leone, Jordan Springs, Claremont Meadows. So people that are within, 10, 15 minutes of driving to the studio. Right, now we're going to go in here, minimum age, right? So you might up this. There are parents that are 18, so you don't want to exclude them. But if you consider yourself as more, of a high-end studio where you're charging, a lot more money than most studios, maybe 18-year-olds might not have, a lot of 18-year-olds might not have the money being parents to do that. So we can bump this up to say 25, right? I think that's safe. So minimum age is 25. Here, this is where we want to exclude our leads, people engage, right? I've got no audiences set up yet, but you can create custom audiences. So to create custom audiences, all you have to do is click these 3 little lines here that says all tools. Then you can jump in here and you can see where it says audiences, right? And then I'm going to open this in a new tab, but you can create audiences in there, okay? So I'll create another video to show you how to do that. But here, this is where you would exclude all those audiences. So you exclude people that have engaged with your ad, have visit your website, and exclude anyone that has converted or filled out the form, right? The reason being is because we're going to have a separate campaign that's going to hit this audience, right? Then here we've got Advantage Plus, okay? So you can either let Meta's ad technology find your audience for you, but what I suggest is that we provide information, right? So it's a new account. There's not much data. We want to tell Facebook who to go after. Okay, so we can set the age here again. So minimum 25 to 65 plus. I would probably drop this down to like maybe 55, and all genders. So you can either target all men and women. I'll go all. And then here is who we want to target. So detailed targeting. And you simply can just chuck in parents, right? So you can see here, all parents, demographics, right? So we want to then you can go parents with adult children, parents with teenagers, parents with preteens, parents with early school age children. You got parents with preschoolers, parents up to 12 months, parents with toddlers, right? So there's all these different options, okay? So this is now going to help us determine our targeting, our message, right? So you're not going to show the same ad to a parent that has a kid that's between 6 to 8 years old versus showing them a little Cirque or preschool program ad to a parents that have got preschoolers, right? It's just not going to work. It's just 2 different markets. So this is where we come back to here now and we go, okay, we're going to go parents with preschoolers. right? So this is one audience that we want to target. And then in here, we're going to go back to here. We're going to choose parents with preschoolers. Perfect. Okay. It's going to be, see, it's going to tell you estimated audience size is 1400 to 1600, which is quite small, right? So what we need to do is we need to expand this audience because it's just not like, it's just way too small. So we can expand it in multiple ways. So we can expand it by increasing the radius, but likely I know from experience, not many people are going to drive half an hour to a dance school unless they offer something quite unique that they need to go to for specific reasons, right? What we can do is we can then increase this audience by adding in parents up to 12 months, right? So these could be parents that that have 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds that are looking to are looking around for studios that they want to sign their kid up to start preschool programs, right? So we can also look at here parents with toddlers 1 to 2 as well, right? So that's a good one too. So we can start to build out. So that increases a little bit as well, right? And then that will help. Okay, so we want to try and increase that audience size as much as we can, right? The other option is we can also just add in this demographic, parents all, and then boom, and it really opens it up, right? But we just want to be careful because at the same time, we don't want to target people or spend money on parents that, have teenagers, all right? So I recommend just remove that, okay, and leave it for here. With placements, just go all placements, but placements are, we can look at, everything to do with Facebook, audience network, Instagram, Messenger, right? So you got feeds, stories, in-stream reels, search. But for this instance, just keep it all placements, right? Don't really change that too much. And then we're going to go next. Okay, so this is where we're going to set up the ads, right? So here we're going to have preschoolers, right? So let's say you want to push Little Cirque, right? Which is a dance Cirque preschool program. We're going to go add one. All right. Then we're going to go here. We have these options. We've got single image or video, carousel, and collection. Don't worry about collection. The main ones you'll use is single image or video and carousel. Okay. Then you want to put in your website URL, right? So for example, we're just going to put in dancer.com.au. And then you can add site links. So this is a cool new feature with Meta now where you can actually have multiple links to your website, right? So what you can do is you can go here and we can say like Little Cirque, right? And then we can just put in www.dancecirque.com.au, Little Cirque, right? So if you've got other like programs that you want to also add into it as well. So let's say you've got the main Dance Cirque program that you want to push. Let's say, you've got another one is like Little Groovers, for example, and you can talk about, Little Groovers. Like, so you go, dancer.com.au/Little Groovers. All right. And you can add in as well. Okay. So minimum 3 is always good. So you want to add that in and that will show up in your ads as well underneath here, different links. And then we want to choose our media. So you've got image or video. So if we go into images, you can see here all these different images that we have. So let's say we just choose this one, for example, right? And we want to make sure we crop it to suit all placements, right? So here you can push it in this, and then this one could be 1.9. Okay, next. And then you can do optimizations, right? So this is a new thing for Facebook too, where you can choose expand image, 3D animations, image filter, image templates, can add music of your choice, visual touch-ups, text improvements, relevant comments, add site links as well. So this is what I mean by site links, like Little Cirque, Little Groovers as well, which is good. So it just gives people different options where they can click through to learn more. I want to get them to the website. Then we can go done. I don't really use a lot of those optimizations, to be honest, but it's up to you. You can test it. Me personally, I don't. I remove a lot of those. And then this is where we add our text. So this is the most important part, in terms of any ads that you're running for your studio is the creative, right? Is the ad creative. We want to speak to our market directly. So for this instance, we're targeting parents with preschoolers or looking to sign their kids up to a preschool program. So what we want to do is we want to be like, attention parents of Penrith. Are you looking for an activity that will help boost your child's confidence? Right. So what we're doing is we're calling out the parents, what a suburb, and we're also touching on a specific pain point, right? We're not saying does your kid suffer from confidence, right? We're saying are you looking for an activity, and grammar's wrong, that should be an activity that will help boost your child's confidence. So then as a parent, they're going to be like, yes, I am actually looking for an activity, for my 2-year-old who can start to do things to help improve their motor skills or boost confidence. You could change this and be like, are you looking for an activity that will help boost your child's motor skills, right? So what we're doing is we're trying to call out that pain point, and then we're going to be the solution, and then you can be like dance, or this is Little Cirque, for example. Little Cirque is a fun and engaging preschool program that helps your child increase their motor skills, or let's say improve their motor skills, and boost their confidence. All right, perfect. So we're calling out the pain point, we're providing the solution, and the solution is Little Cirque, right? And then now we need the call to action. Or you could be like, interested in learning more, click the learn more button below for more information. Right? Easy. Okay, it's straightforward. Calling out who our customer is, parents of Penrith, right, in the suburb, because anything, if no one really outside of your range should see it, but we just want to call it out just to be making sure, right? Really call that parent out. Then we're touching on the pain point, right, without being so negative about it, right? We also want to make sure the copy and everything that we do, it doesn't come across negative. We want to make sure it comes across positive. So that's why we don't want to be like, is your kid suffering from motor skills? Or, we want to be like, are you looking for an activity that will help boost your child's motor skills? So it just comes across a bit different, right? And then Little Cirque is a fun and engaging preschool program that helps, right? So we're just talking about the program and how it helps them do what they want, and then interested. So we want to call it out. Okay, so it's super important that we do call it out. Okay, we do ask and tell people what to do, what are the next steps. Then after that is we've got the headline, right? So what we want to do is we like a lot of people will be like dance cirque, preschool program, But what I like to do here as well, which I find is more effective, is like just like find out more about our Little Cirque program. Cool. And then learn more. All right, and then you've got here. So you learn more for this instance, but you can also push people to sign up if you have a specific call to action or offer. So for example, it's like if you're doing, let's say, sign up today for a free Little Cirque class, right, as the call to action. Then we could be like, here, instead of saying learn more, the call to action be sign up, right? Because we're pushing people to sign up. Okay, and then you've got your website URL. Don't worry about this. Just make sure your tracking set up as well, because we want to be able to track that so that we can create our custom audiences. And that's how we do it, right? The creative, my recommendations for the creative is don't just put an image like this, right? Make sure that you do videos, okay? Make sure in the video that you do have hook, okay? So just to quickly run down through ad creative framework, but we'll go into this a bit further as we start to build out these more, is you want to, it's all about attention, right? You really have 3 seconds to grab the attention of your potential customer, right? So within that 3 seconds, you need to call them out, right? So you need to make sure you call out your customer directly, you touch on their pain point, and you essentially provide them a solution, right? So you got to, it's not a lot of time, but that's all really what you have to really grab their attention, right? In today's world, it's all about attention. How do we get those people to stop the scroll, watch the video, engage with the content, whether it's a video, graphic, or anything like that? Okay, with your graphics, make sure they're bright, colorful, they're on brand, right? You're using big bold text, things like that, and you're calling out your customer. Okay, so it's super important. We'll go into ad creative, like videos and graphics and things are a bit more later on, but just wanted to take you through today, so that just to show you like the basics of setting up an ad campaign. Then, like, before we finish off, you can like jump into here and go through like multiple options, right? So this is for preschoolers, right? So what we want to do now is we want to look at, same thing, Penrith, well, it's not interest demographics, parents with teenagers, okay? And then we want to target them. So then in this one, you're not going to talk about preschool programs or anything like that. We want to understand what are the things that teenagers want to do when it comes to dancer or dancing in particular, right? Are they looking for a dance studio that's going to help improve their dancing techniques? Were they looking for a studio that has various different class options so they don't get bored, from like ballet, jazz to circus classes? So we've got to start to understand your market and how do we speak to them. If we're speaking to someone that's looking to improve, their circus abilities, and at the moment that the studio that they're going to is not doing that for them, then that's a potential target, right? So that's what the communications, that's what the ad creative, that's what the message has to be around. That's just one angle though, okay? So inside these ad sets, you can have up to 50 ads running at a time. Okay, I don't suggest you have 50 ads running at a time because your budget will be spread too thin. Anywhere between 3 to 5 ads at a time is perfect. Okay, and you want to test those different angles. Okay, you want to try and test multiple angles, constantly changing. It's all about testing, finding the angle, the creative, the hook that works, and then doubling down on that and scaling that, and then creating multiple versions of that. Okay, so that's super important. But that's what we want to do. And then you might have, and another audience setup where it's like, you want to target people, parents that are interested in jazz. So that whole campaign, that whole ad set is all about jazz. You want to look at parents that are interested in, have kids that are that want to learn about hip hop dancing or stuff like that, right? And then you build your creative based on that audience. Okay, you can also do one where you create an audience and you just chuck everything in there. So you do parents all, for example, really open up the audience, and then you put in like an ad around dance Cirque, an ad around Little Cirque, an ad around hip hop, ad around jazz, ad around ballet, right? And then what that does is Facebook will tell you which ad is getting more engagement, which ad is working for you, and then you can just double down on that. That is good too, but at the same time too, if you're running multiple classes, if you're filling up the hip hop class and your jazz class is not really getting much attention, you really need to fill that out. Then as a business strategy, and the thing would be to push jazz classes, right? And start to try and drive traffic for that. And that's the purpose of these campaigns, right? You want to try and drive classes and enrollments. You don't want to just keep getting enrollments for a class that's already packed out. You want to fill up the classes as well that are lacking in students, and you want to get people into those as well. All right. But if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out. I hope this helps just give you a bit more clarity and understanding on how to set up an ad campaign. But we'll go through on ad creative because that's the most important part, right? Setting up audiences and that's cool. That works. It's make sure you're doing it right. You have the right optimizations as well, making sure, you're not going for awareness, traffic, engagement. There's no point in doing that just yet. That's a different strategy, different reason why you would choose those objectives. But at the moment, we want leads. We want people to come in. We want to speak to them. We want to enroll them. Okay. So that's what we want to go for. All right. Cool. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.